Good evening. We'll call this January 15th, 2025 Platting Board meeting to order. The time is 6:31. I will be acting chair this evening in place of Mr. Quinn. Will you please have roll call?
Brandy Pennington.
Present.
Sarah Catherine Bryan.
Present.
Patrick Jones.
Present.
Ashley Ploy.
Present.
Kyle Merka.
Present.
Brenda Butler.
Present.
Kevin Cross.
Present.
Skylar Quinn is excused. You have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve.
Second. Moved by Ms. Bryan, seconded by Mr. Cross. Any corrections or objections to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Do we have any disclosures this evening? No disclosures heard. For information only, we have an abbreviated plat action summary dated 12/23/24. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Moved by Mr. Cross, seconded by Ms. Butler. Are there any items we need to pull for discussion? Any objections to approving the consent agenda? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. We'll now move to the public hearing portion of the evening. I will start by reading the procedures in which the public may speak to the Platting Board. After the staff presentation is completed on public hearing items, the chair will ask for public testimony on the issue. Persons who wish to testify will follow the time limits established in the Commission Rules of Procedures. Petitioners, including all his or her representatives, 10 minutes. Part of this time may be reserved for rebuttal. Representatives of groups, community councils, PTAs, etc., 5 minutes. Individuals, 3 minutes. When your testimony is complete, you may be asked questions by the board. You may only testify once on any issue unless questioned by the board. Any party of interest wishing to appeal shall first file with the planning director within 7 days of the board's decision made on the record a written notice of intent to appeal in accordance with AMC 21-03-050A4A. Following approval of the written findings of fact and decision, any party of interest may, within 20 days, file an appeal by filing a notice of appeal and paying the appeal fee and deposit in accordance with Section 21-03-050. The notice of appeal must be filed with the planning director on a form prescribed by the municipality. If the appellant is not the applicant, the appellant's notice of appeal shall include proof of service on the applicant. May we please have staff's presentation on case S12806.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is a request to modify plat note number 1 from plat 9629 SLM subdivision, block 5, lot 3B. The purpose of the petitioner's request is to allow owners access East 36th Avenue for a planned multi-use development by Chugach Alaska Corporation. The petitioner coordinated with the traffic department on the modified language based on traffic volumes that never materialized with projected development. The planning department supports the modification and other agencies have no objection. In staff analysis, staff finds that condition A has been met. Conditions that required the plat note have changed. East 36th Avenue was developed as a divided minor arterial with higher anticipated traffic generation that never materialized. There is less traffic volume and the Midtown area is largely developed with no major increase in those traffic volumes. Staff finds condition B has been met. Modification of the plat note will not have a negative effect on neighboring properties. The neighboring properties are developed with their own infrastructure, site access, and site amenities. And none, as I stated, none of the reviewing agencies, including traffic, have any objection to the modification of this plat note. Staff finds condition C has been met. Plat 9629 would continue to meet the approval criteria for subdivisions. Lot 3 will continue to have access to East Avenue and with the modification to East 36th Avenue. The petitioner will be required to get a driveway permit from the traffic department at the time of development and may require minor modifications to the existing two-way turn lane to control turning movements at that time of development. With that being said, staff recommends approval subject to conditions A, 1, and 2 found on the staff report. The petitioner and petitioner's representatives here tonight, and as stated, they did speak with traffic quite a bit before submitting the application. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions of the staff?
Mr. Chair, I do have a question for staff.
Thank you. Please continue.
On page 25 of our packet, DOT, with the future Seward Highway 36th Avenue interchange in mind, counseled that the driveway should be placed as far east from Old Seward Highway as possible. I estimate that they meant as far as west, far west from Old Seward Highway intersection. Is that an accurate assessment?
Through the chair, yes, that's probably an accurate description, and it should be noted this is a long ways from that Seward Highway upgrade interchange. It's across the old Seward, and then it's mid-span all the way to Denali.
And I suppose the only follow-up question I have to that would be if the recommendation was DOT, and I do recognize that it is quite a ways from that intersection, is to put it as far west as possible. Is there any reason that the traffic engineer recommended it be center to the lot?
I believe maybe the petitioner might be able to answer that. It is that portion all along there is municipal maintained and municipal owned right-of-way, so it would really be up to the municipal traffic department and their best practices of where to allow that and the reasoning to allow a driveway. The DOT is stating some things, but that's more of a recommendation as that portion of 36 is muni-owned.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have any additional questions for staff? Can the petitioner please come forward, please, for their presentation? Please state your name, spell it.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, good evening. My name is Tamás Deák, spelled D-E-A-K. I'm the petitioner's representative. I'm a designer at KPB Architects. Tonight, we are here to request a plat note modification, as you heard, and we are in concurrence with the plan staff's recommendations, which are pretty simple, and we are also in concurrence with the conditions. And I wanted to thank Sean to prepare the documents and prepare the staff report and give you a clear answer on how our planning department views this application. You heard a question regarding the DOT. I may just want to address that so we can perhaps answer that question before you have others. I wanted to also note that if I have time left over, I would like to reserve for rebuttal, although it may not be necessary, we'll see. As you heard, the idea of this parcel is that it was restricted to access 36 because the future traffic volumes on that street, on that road, and it is a minor arterial, and that was a decision made in the 90s when the plat notes were placed on this parcel, and in subsequent subdivisions also moved that plat note along. Here we are in 2025. The development of this parcel is really restricted by not having access to East 36th. So we sought the guidance of the traffic department to see whether that condition which was applicable in 95 is still applicable in 2025. And based on the traffic volumes, as you heard, it was determined that the actual road section itself perhaps is a little bit over-designed for the traffic which it will carry into the future. The plan for this parcel is a multi-use development of various uses, from housing to a staff resource center, an archives museum, and potentially a recreational building for serving the population of Anchorage, not just the Chugach stakeholders, but also the larger community. And for them, it is very important to have the proper presence and access from 36. That's why we went started the master planning with reaching out to the planning or the traffic department. The road project, which you heard about, of DOT road project, that's been part of the overall corridor development for Seward Highway, and it is actually quite far away. And the placement of the driveway will be determined by the municipal planning department, as it is under the jurisdiction of the municipal traffic department. Their request was to have the access to associate with the current access, which accesses the parcel to the south, which is the Cookpick Native Corporation site, because of traffic design would not allow staggering those. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to submit a permit request for a driveway permit, and then we'll work with the traffic department to work the actual technical details and the dimensions of that driveway. So it is going to be somewhere west of the center of the lot, more of the west third of the lot. So it is the farthest away as possible. And I think that will address that issue, and if you have any other questions, I'm here to answer.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for the petitioner? Thank you. Looks like we don't have any questions for you.
Thank you.
I'm going to open it now to public hearing. Okay. Seeing no one moving forward, I'm going to close the public hearing. If you'd like to save me your rebuttal time, if not, we'll close it.
Thank you. Not to belabor this, but I wanted to request that you actually support this as well and approve it. So thank you.
Thank you. We will now close the public hearing. May I please have a motion for case S12806? Moved by Mr. Cross, seconded by Ms. Butler. Mr. Cross, can you please state your motion?
Yeah, regarding case S12806, SLM subdivision block 5, lot 3B. I move to approve the request to the modification of plat note number 1, plat 96-29, that states direct vehicular access from lot 3B, block 5 onto 36th Avenue is prohibited, subject to conditions 1 and 2, recording the resolution. Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's written right there. I don't have to read from my paper. How convenient. Lot 3, okay, direct vehicular access from lot 3B onto East 36th Avenue is restricted to one location in the center of the lot with left and right out turning movements.
Thank you. Do you have any additional findings you'd like to add?
Yeah, it's important to note that in order to get first to the further scrutiny of the traffic engineering department, which will further take a look at where on that lot that'll be placed, whether it's further to the east or further to the west, the plat note first has to be removed. And then they can discuss design in the future. So what we're doing is because as staff has pointed out in their analysis, 36 was overbuilt, the volume of traffic was significantly less than anticipated, and therefore this plat note is no longer needed. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Butler, would you like to speak to your second?
Yes, I intend to support this motion.
It meets all the approval criteria under AMC 2103-210 G9. East 36, like it was mentioned a few times, was developed as a divided minor arterial with higher anticipated traffic generation, averages 12,000 trips per day, and can access like 10,000 to 20,000 average traffic. This plat note removal and the future driveway will not increase a lot of major traffic issues. It won't have any negative effects to neighboring properties. The existing subdivision still facilitates orderly and efficient layout and land to maximum extent feasible, and traffic and engineering recommended the location and turning movement restrictions to be associated with the future curb cut, so that's been addressed. There is no public comments or any comments from the community council, and all the reviewing agencies didn't object to this plat note removal.
Thank you. Are there any additional findings? Thank you. I have a few that I will add as well. I would agree that the conditions have changed from when this was originally done, and I think this is a reasonable accommodation to get more development in that area. And I also, driving down that very frequently, can see that there's obviously properties adjacent to this that have access that are being proposed here, so I don't think this is something out of the ordinary for that section of road, and agree. And having traversed this area, 34th can get quite congested in that area too, just with the different development around there, so I think having an opportunity to get onto 36 would be definitely good for this development, so I would agree this would be a thing to support. With that, if there's any additional findings, none, then we'll move to a vote.
Mr. Merca, how do you vote?
In favor?
Ms. Pennington?
In favor.
Thank you.
With that, this has passed. Do we have any additional comments for this evening? Okay, hearing none, do we have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Ms. Butler, seconded by Ms. Bryan. Meeting is closed.